Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Sani-That Sports Guy, your favorite sport content creator. And today we've got a special one because we are going to be talking through Manchester United and Liverpool, the Premier League season, and where both our clubs go from here. But without further ado, I want to introduce Daily Dose Football because he is special.
Hello guys, I'm DDF. I'm the man behind some of Sani's content. So this is not going to be long. This is going to be short, simple, and concise.
Exactly.
I have one question for you, Sani.
Here we go.
What are your expectations for United this season?
Expectations are key, especially for Manchester United. Premier League hasn't been won for nearly 12 years coming up, 11 years. I'm an accountant and I can't even do maths. Of course, this year we want to win it. Will we? I don't think so. I think we're still off. And there's a few key positions that I think definitely need looking after that. If we don't look at come this summer, then I think we're going into this season with those same issues that we had last season not being addressed. Signed a striker. We needed a striker. We got Højlund. Yes, he's young. Yes, he's unproven to an extent, but we've addressed that need, which we've wanted now. We signed a goalkeeper, which, let's be honest, we needed that goalkeeper. People are going to be going on about this friendly and him getting chipped and the likes of Szoboszlai at your club. However, the thing is, we needed this keeper, this type of keeper. This profile is key for Manchester United and the way Ten Hag wants to play. We signed Mount. Interesting signing. I didn't understand why Ten Hag signed him, but here we are. There's still some issues, mate. We need another right-sided centre-back. I don't think Varane can keep it up for a whole season with his injury issues. And I think we do need someone who's better with the ball. Fullbacks is another issue, which I think we need to address at some point as well. In midfield, we lack control massively. I'm hoping Amrabat comes in because we need someone to just keep the ball. The midfielders right now, they just can't keep the ball. Wingers, I think Rashford's pretty much got the left side sewn up. The right side is up for grabs, be that Antony or Sancho. I think we had a fairly good season last year for us as a club. Obviously, external factors, City winning the treble meant the season itself was dog shit as far as I'm concerned. Where do I expect Manchester United to finish in the league? I think we finished fourth. There are at least two sides who are better than us and are better equipped for the season, in my humble opinion. And I think there's a third team, which I'm going to flip the question onto you now, because I think this team, Liverpool, will finish third. What are your expectations for Liverpool this season?
See, I've seen a lot of Twitter. I mean, you can't take Twitter seriously, but I've seen multiple of people saying this season Klopp is gonna get sacked. Come on, guys, calm down. They don't remember during 2021, that Premier League season, the defense was out of it. Van Dijk was injured, Joe Gomez was injured, Joe Matip was injured, Ozan Kabak, we had to loan him in. We used Nat Phillips, Reece Williams, and we still got third. In my opinion, even though our defense is absolute dog shit, I think we're gonna finish second. I think City will win the league. The point gap between first and second is gonna be insane. The top 9 of the Prem is going to be competitive. You have Newcastle, you have Brighton, you have Aston Villa, you have United, and you have Arsenal, you have Chelsea. It's insane. The competition is insane. But I think Liverpool will make it. I think it's going to be close between Arsenal and Liverpool, but I think Liverpool will make it into second. Why don't you think Mount is a good signing?
It's a good question. I know some people can be like, oh, he fits Ten Hag's profile, but I don't see how a team with Casemiro and Mount and Bruno Fernandes is going to be able to keep the ball, especially when teams are going to press us, because naturally the way football is being played now, people like to press. Unless you play a low block and you have an amazing defensive capability, you're going to struggle in world football, I think, at the moment. So you're going to be pressed. If you've got the players like Casemiro, who struggles on the half term, if we're being honest, if you have the likes of Mount and Bruno, who are susceptible to losing the ball, yes, fine, they can carry the ball well, but that doesn't mean they retain the ball well. It doesn't mean they pass the ball well. So if we want to control games, which is what I think helps you win games as far as I'm concerned, yes, fine, you're not going to win every game. But if you can control the game, you have a better chance to dominate the game, create more chances, and hopefully score more goals. The midfield that we have, I don't think you can control the game. I don't think Mount is a player that can keep the ball, pass the ball, create that tempo. I don't think Bruno is as well. And I don't think Casemiro is. Hence why I said I think Amrabat would be a key signing, because he fits that type of profile that I think Ten Hag needs. Because let's be honest, when Casemiro came into the club, the player he wanted was not Casemiro. The player he wanted was Frankie de Jong. Now, Frankie de Jong sits a certain type of profile. And again, if we get Amrabat in, which I hope we do, then I think that will help us in that midfield. Then I think it's possible to play Mount and Bruno. But right now, I don't think they can coexist in the same team with us keeping control in the midfield, which is going to be our killer. Because if we go to Anfield, for example, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Lavia, that team on paper is a pretty good midfield, if I'm being honest with you.
See, Szoboszlai, I don't think he will fit in his work rate. I don't think his work rate fits in. I don't think so. I've seen in 4 preseason matches, his work rate is utter. See, with the Lavia signing, the rumors is crazy.
That's a good signing if you get him over the line, man. That's a good
It's a good
signing.
signing for the future. For now, I think Steven Bajcetic, I think he's going to replace him. I think he's going to play under 21s. That's how bad I think he will do in the beginning. The problem is he's so young. Did you see the last game against Liverpool? Southampton against Liverpool, 4-4.
Yeah.
Did you see the first goal?
I
He
did.
has no awareness at all. So I don't think he's going to be good for now, because he's 19 years old, remember.
But he's a very good player. I think you need, considering you lost, let's be honest, you lost Henderson, you lost Fabinho,
Yes.
you lost Ox,
Yes.
you lost Naby
Yes.
Keita. That's a lot of experience you're losing as well in that midfield.
Yes, indeed. But at the same time, I don't think he was fit. He's just a C-Tech Caicedo. I'm not even gonna lie. The obsession I have with Caicedo, bro, the way he plays, he would evolve this number 6 position. Fabinho was good at his time in 1920, 2021. Even though he played centre back half of the season, he still performed well. 21, 22. But last season is when you saw the true decline. Because that's why I'm not even mad that we sold Fabinho. 46 million euros for a declining player. How many goals do you think Højlund will score?
Ooh. In the league, I
In the
think
league?
he
We're
will
talking
get...
about Premier League only. No,
in the
not
Premier
Champions
League,
League.
I think
Yeah.
we can expect a maximum of 15 league goals. I
For
think,
Højlund. Yo, that's
yeah,
a big-
max, because the team that we get should create chances. If you remember from last season, XG, we were 6th. In terms of chances created,
Yes.
big chances created, I'm pretty sure we were in the top 3. We might have been 2nd. So we do create chances. Our issue last season was we create chances, but no one can put them away. So Højlund will get chances. I think he'll have to start most games as well, because we don't have a lot of depth up front. So I feel like he will, and I feel like Ten Hag is going to trust him. But I think if you create chances and you're a striker who has the ability to put them in the back of the net, Murphy's Law works in a way that you should end up putting them away. So I think 15 is reasonable. I think if he gets 15, that's an amazing season, by the way, because I think something like 10 would be a good return for his first season. But if he gets 15, that's a fantastic season for Højlund.
Yeah. For me, I think he would score 10, at least 9 or 10. The way you said Mount, Casemiro, and Fernandes, they don't know how to retain the ball.
That's not a midfield that you want to be going to Anfield with. I'm sorry.
Mount, yes, he can't retain the ball. I don't understand why. Yesterday, I think they played a friendly.
Yeah,
Mount in the middle. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Mount is just for 65 million euros.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But it's the Man United tax. Whenever Man United come calling, you will inevitably pay a lot more money than you will if you were another club. I'm not saying any other club won't have that tax, but we always end up overpaying for a lot of players.
And when you sell players, United, for example, Zidane Iqbal, 1 million? Only 1 million?
Yeah.
Only 1 million? Telles, 7 million. Elanga, 17.5. But City, they're selling Broges for 20 million pounds.
I know.
How do they do this? How? It's incredible, honestly.
It is incredible. It is incredible. But I think if you look at Liverpool, you know, they bought in Szoboszlai for 60 million. That's a lot of money. And I think Szoboszlai, I know you're saying he won't be a good fit for Liverpool. I think he will. I think he looks a player, man, like that number 8. You need something from midfield where, let's be honest, last couple of seasons for Liverpool, yeah, you had solidity with Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson. But I think ever since you lost Coutinho, you've always lacked a player who had that creative spark. Now, I'm not saying Szoboszlai is your Coutinho in that way, but he's more of that advanced midfielder who can offer you something different compared to your other midfielders. So I'm intrigued to see how it's going to work out, because your front line, my God, Luis Diaz will be back this season. Salah will be there again, consistent. Nunez. That's a question I want to ask you as well. How well do you think Darwin Nunez does this season?
Oh, Darwin Nunez will tear up the season. I'm sorry. I've watched him, even though you don't want to indicate or you don't want to base your expectations from preseason. Darwin Nunez. Oh my God. You've blown my world away. Remember the beginning of the season, post his red card against Crystal Palace. This guy was good. He was good. He couldn't put away his chances, but he was creating chances. The way he was training centre backs, especially that Aston Villa game away when we won 3-1, when Steven Bajcetic, I think that Steven Bajcetic, by the way, he's going to be one of the best DMs in the league. I'm telling you, this guy, he's so good. He's so good. I'm sorry. Even though he didn't have the physicality at first and he got injured, unfortunately, I think he's going to be good. Not to get my point away, Darwin Nunez, this guy, 20 goals. I'm calling it here. 20 goals this season.
It's a big call.
I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for the season. That front three, I don't even know who starts. That's how good it is. That's a good problem though. It reminds me of 21-22 when players came back from AFCON
Yeah.
and Liverpool played against Leicester City. That game just showed how much depth we had. And then we added Nunez, and then unfortunately Jota, Diaz got injured the next season. But this season, I hope Thiago doesn't get injured, Diaz doesn't get injured, Jota doesn't get injured. I hope so, because if it doesn't, we're going to destroy the competition. Even though our defense is a bit shaky, we're going to destroy the competition head to toe.
It'd be interesting to see how Klopp rotates, because obviously you're in the Europa League this season as well, which I think is a competition that Liverpool could seriously compete in and do well. I think there's a chance Liverpool could win that, to be fair, looking at the teams in that competition. But there's another player that we haven't touched upon who's at Liverpool, who for some people, I don't really think so, but for some people, they think he's on the decline, he's finished, especially after that season. But Virgil van Dijk, do you think he has a good season this year, or do you think that decline that started last season and for some people continues into the
It
season?
didn't even start last season. It started when Pickford absolutely battered this guy. I hate Pickford.
Interesting.
I hate him. I
So
remember
you think he is on the decline then?
he's already in decline.
Yeah.
He is the shadow of what he was. If you compare 1920 Van Dijk to 2021 and beyond, it's different. We saw a glimpse of the real Van Dijk 2 seasons ago. He started to go up, and then the season finished. And then once he came back, I'm not unfortunate. I think Liverpool need to sign a centre back as soon as possible, but I don't think they will buy.
Wow.
I don't understand FSG. Eric Ten Hag has been in United for the past 16 months, and he's already spending more than Klopp for the past 3 years, maybe.
Carvalho, he went on loan to Leipzig, which I think is probably a good move for him, so he can get some game time.
And it's interesting. Klopp did not even say goodbye to Carvalho. There's something going on between them. Carvalho and Klopp, there's something going on. Since he scored that winner against Newcastle, nothing. He's done nothing.
I guess what's more interesting, and the viewers would love to hear, is where do you think Liverpool finish in the league this season? Second. Interesting.
Second.
Why do you think that?
I'm telling you, the competition up front we're going to blow every single defense. It's going to be like 2 seasons ago. Every single game we were averaging 3 goals a game.
Wow.
It was even going to be better than that. The attack and the midfield is going to be so good. We're going to concede a lot of goals, though. Just another centre back. I don't know who, but just sign a centre back.
Another centre back. What would you deem a success for Liverpool this season then? If it would I mean, second sounds like a success, but what about the cups? What else would be deemed a success?
FA Cup, probably quarter-final. Carabao Cup, semi-final. Champions League. Europa League.
I'm gonna say, in the Champions League, you're hearing that.
I think we're gonna win the Europa League, but finishing second.
Winning the Europa League would be a great season for Liverpool.
What is your top 9? I don't want you to spoil your whole Premier League predictions, because I know you would like to post your own content about that. But your top 9, because I think top 9 this season, most competitive, is going to be so tight.
It is going to be tight. But I think ninth will be Brighton, because I feel a lot does ride on Caicedo if he stays or if he goes, but Europa League is going to be hard for them to manage. First season in Europe in their history, so let's see how they navigate that. 8th, I think it'll be Aston Villa. Now, I know some people think Aston Villa will finish higher. I don't know if they've got the squad yet. They've got some good signings, Pau Torres, Yuri Tielemans, Diaby, but I feel like they're still lacking a few more goals. Like, Watkins had a good season, but can he keep that going into this season? Don't know. They need maybe 1-2 more signings, and I think then they can propel themselves up the league. I think Spurs finish 7th. I think Harry Kane stays. I think Postecoglou does do a good season with them. I think he might finally win them a cup. I say that, but it is Spurs at the end of the day. I think Spurs finished 7th. I think Newcastle finished 6th. Newcastle have a very, very good defense. That's one thing people need to realize, that defense isn't going to be broken apart. And the signing of Tonali means that their midfield 3 is very good. Tonali, Guimaraes, and Joe Linton. So that's a great midfield. So I think Newcastle 6th. Chelsea finished 5th. That's a good season for Chelsea, because people forget, if you finish 5th in the Premier League this season, you're more than likely likely going to get a Champions League spot next season because of the coefficient ranking. So that's not really a bad
Oh,
shout.
yeah, I totally forgot about that.
That's not a bad shout. So then I think we finished fourth, Liverpool finished third. There's a reason why I think Liverpool finished third, because I think Arsenal finished second and City finished first, because I'm hoping Arsenal win the league. That's the only reason I'm saying Arsenal second. But I think Arsenal have a good squad. I think the difficulty for them that people are going to be questioning is, can they compete on all fronts being in the Champions League? But I will say to people that they're in the Europa League for a while. They got out of the Europa League. So I think games won't be an issue. It's just whether they can keep that consistency of playing ability throughout the season. That's going to be the question, I think, for Arsenal. So I think Arsenal second, and then of course Manchester City finish first. And if they finish first, which I think they do, then they end the debate of who is the greatest Premier League side of all time, because that means 4 in a row. No one's done that. It'll be unprecedented, and that ends the debate.
I agree with most of what you said. I'm quite surprised. I thought you put Aston Villa quite higher.
I don't think I can't see it, man. I can't see it. I don't know why. I just can't see it.
Ninth, Aston Villa.
That's lower than I thought, but
They have their squad depth, but I don't think they have the quality on
the quality. That's the thing that's lacking. Quality is key. It's not sometimes, like you said, squad depth is fine, but you need quality, like you said. But I mean, a question for you to ask then, for me to ask you, sorry, on the Aston Villa positioning is: does that mean that you think they'll win the Europa Conference League? Because they're probably the best team in that competition.
Yeah.
With Juventus out now.
Semi-final, maybe. Semi-final.
Yeah. That'd be a great season for Villa.
Yeah, semi-final. But I think they'll bounce back then the following season. Ninth, because it's been a while since they have a European competition, Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. I think in the FA Cup, I think they'll give a good show. Because you've seen, remember when you went to United against Aston Villa? By the way, I edited that video because I remember it was the game was 4-2.
Yeah.
But remember how good they were in the
They were good. They were good. They were good. They were 2-1 up, I'm pretty sure.
They were 2-1 up. And then, what a comeback. 8th, Brighton. I'm being accused of being a super Brighton fan. I just like how they play. And like I said, it was my favorite player of last season.
Yeah.
Brilliant player. If Chelsea get him, he's going to revolutionize that position.
I think I agree with you. If Chelsea get him, then I think my positioning of Chelsea needs to change.
Him and Enzo Fernandez.
Oh my god! That is and it's funny because those two players could have signed for Liverpool, ironically, with Jude Bellingham. But here we are. But then the question I need to ask again on Brighton's positioning is: where do you think they finish in the Europa League as well? First season in Europe. How do you think they do?
I think they're going to be probably knocked out. It's going to be a shock win. A weaker opposition will win against them.
Wow.
Because see, Brighton, they're quite chaotic. Of course, I'm referring to the end of the season again. But just look at the end of the season. Look how chaotic they are. They go ahead and win against United, then lose against Nottingham Forest, then they win against Southampton, then they lose against Newcastle. They capitulate quickly.
They lost 5-1 at home to Everton as well. It was crazy result.
Yes,
5-1 or 5-2, I can't remember.
5-1.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Tottenham, oh my goodness. Ange, you've done wonders already. The way they're playing, I've never seen Tottenham play this fluidly. Conte was playing a defensive style, and then they switched it up quickly. They're having like 80% possession and 50 shots, 20 on targets. Even if they're playing Shakhtar Donetsk and they're playing some Japanese team, still, it's a quick change, but they've adapted quickly. I like that a lot. But I don't think they will be affected by Kane leaving. It's going to be a new era, and I think they will perform. And it will put pressure on the new striker they would sign, because I'm definitely they will sign a new striker after selling Kane.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah.
Especially selling him for 100 million euros.
Yeah, but it's a good reset. I think it's a good time to reset as well. But I think he stays. But let's see what happens.
Apparently, there was a deadline for Bayern to bid, and the deadline just passed. So
I think that's a fair positioning, though. I think for Spurs. And who's next?
Newcastle 6. Their defense last season impressed me. Their game against Arsenal in the Emirates, impressive. I was so impressed by their defense. I know people hate their dirty tactics, but you have to do what you have to do to either win or get a point. Arsenal are a better team, but they were so resilient. And when they got 8 clean sheets in a row, do you know how hard it is to do that in the Premier League? Next, Arsenal. I don't think they're good.
Wow. No, not a fan of Declan Rice. Timber.
No, Rice.
Kai Havertz.
No, Rice is a very good player. But, oh my God, Havertz. Buying Havertz. Havertz, are you serious? Especially after that season. I'm sorry, Havertz is going to be a flop. I mean, they're currently playing right now against City. I've seen Havertz play the first half. Goodness. I'm sorry, Arsenal fans. What was Arteta thinking? Chelsea fourth, exciting team. Exciting team. Selling the players they've sold. They have Ziyech and Lukaku left and potentially swapping him with Vlahovic. Plus 40 million euros, but that is insane.
Mm.
Do you know how good of a signing Vlahovic is going to be? Chelsea is going to turn Vlahovic's career around because Juventus is going on a decline. They've been banned
Mm.
in competitions. Vlahovic will be looking forward to leaving that shit club. United third, Liverpool second, and City first.
I think the Arsenal shout is interesting. I mean, that'd get them Champions League, but if they finish fifth, then I think Mikel Arteta could be looking at the sack, to be honest, especially considering
Really?
the money. I think especially considering the money they've spent over the last couple of seasons, for them not to win a trophy. Yes, he won the FA Cup in his first season, but
Yeah.
that wasn't his first season in charge. Like, fair play, he won that trophy. I'm not
Mhm.
denying it, but it wasn't his team, it wasn't his project. He spent all this money, and for him to finish, what, eighth, second, did
Mhm.
very well last season, Arsenal. Hope they won the league. And then, like you said, if they finish fifth, although I think they finished second, but if they finish fifth, that's an awful, awful season, I think, for Arsenal. They need top four minimum because that intends that. I'm not saying you need top four to finish Champions League because fifth will get Champions League. What I'm saying is top four, especially top three as well within that, kind of shows that you were there or thereabouts. I like to think because if City run away with it, then it's irrelevant. You finish in top four, top three. But
Yes.
hopefully Arsenal provides some competitiveness. And, if they win a trophy, then I don't think that's a bad season for Arsenal. Finish fifth.
And
And
I mean, they've just done it right now. I've just checked. They won the Community Shield.
they
But
won the Community Shield, yeah.
Havertz, I'm sorry. Like, what were they think? I'm still thinking. I know they've signed him long time ago, 75 million euros. What a steal from Chelsea. Chelsea, when they sell players, when they intend to sell players, it's crazy. They sold Mendy,
Kovacic,
Kovacic, yes,
Aubameyang, Pulisic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek,
yes,
Azpilicueta, Edouard
yeah,
Mendy,
Kante, Koulibaly.
Ante
Oh,
went, Koulibaly went.
yeah,
They needed it, though. They needed this. They needed this, I think.
yeah, they were playing with two training pitches. They had a massive squad, and they still have a massive squad, and they still intend to sign more players. Anyways, I won't keep this for so long. Thank you, Sani, for coming on. It's been Sani. It's been DDF. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.